And days like that make it really hard for the grid to kind of ramp up and ramp down, right? As we're kind of not sure about every single cloud that passes over a solar panel is going to drop that production level down. So, and then of course you have, the overcast, August 28th, for example, rainy all day, no solar production at all. So this kind of shows you that intermittency that's really the case for most renewable energy resources, especially solar. So, and that is again, going back to that fuel diversity, that's again why we have a broad mix of generating resources. And I didn't say this earlier, but if you have questions, feel free to stop me. I don't need this to be formal or anything. I want it to be more interactive and self-explanatory. So solar is a really hot topic, of course. A lot of states have mandates where they have to have solar. So those are the states in green and red that actually have goals and trying to hit. The Southeast is actually one of those few states that does not have a standard or mandate in place. We have still very low rates, as I mentioned earlier. And I'll touch on the resources in a minute, but we have a decent solar resource, but it's not quite as prevalent as it is in those other states. So this kind of shows you practically what solar irradiance, looks like in the state of Georgia. It's a pretty decent resource. But if you look at the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, California, they have an excellent solar resource out there. California also has very high rates. So by using solar for those customers, they're really able to offset their electric bill. It's a great benefit for those customers. And a gym. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
But the browser.
Sorry about that. Not me. All right. So kind of showing you some price trends. This line shows you the price over time. Costs have really dropped significantly as those installations have increased over time. It's currently about $3 a watt right now. So most homes will install a 4 kW or 4,000 watt system on their home. So your upfront cost, you're usually looking at about $12,000. So that's a very significant investment in your home. And depending on how long you want to stay there, that's going to really impact your decision to install solar or not, and especially considering the fact that rates are relatively low in the South.
What are the rates for non-solar electricity?
Typically, Georgia averages about 12 cents per kWh,
Okay.
and a typical home uses about 1,000 kWh, just to give you rough estimates. So if you kind of think about that, payback would be about 15 or so years. So what are some other drivers for renewable energy? The biggest one is the federal investment tax credit that's out there right now. There's a 30% tax credit, and your solar generator has to be online by the end of 2016. After that, it'll drop to 10%. So that's really been driving a lot of the market for the large installations within the state and across the nation. Another large driver is the EPA has proposed this clean power plant idea, which is a lot of increased renewable energy, increase for energy efficiency, and reducing emissions overall, so reducing those coal plants and things like that. So utilities across the nation have really kind of provided that feedback. We're not quite sure where it's going to lead, what's going to lead to, but some utilities have kind of ramped up their solar installations to counteract that. So we're doing a lot of things in Georgia. So that first one we have is the Advanced Solar Initiative. That's our biggest initiative, or ASI as we call it. And it kind of touches on two main areas: utility scale, which are those large installations, like a solar plant basically. It's over 1 megawatt in size. The smaller ones are called distributed generation. Those are like your rooftop installations or just small, you have a field you want to solar. That would be a distributed generation project. We're also working with the Army and other military bases to help them meet their own renewable energy goals. So we're doing some then we also have several other projects that we're working on. Research projects like the one on the rooftop of our building I mentioned. We're also working to get wind energy supply to our grid from our roof painting project, as well as several initiatives.
So the project that's going to be here in South Village, where would that fit into this?
Research and demonstration would be
Okay.
one of those. Yeah, we're trying to do a lot of research as far, there's a variety of things to look at as far as battery, orientation of solar panels, dual or single tracking, things like that.
Yeah, I understood those are supposed to be directional. Are most of the others directional, or are they just
Most
fixed?
of them are fixed, and that kind of comes into the cost of the panel itself. So fixed are obviously cheaper, and single axis will get you an added production, but dual is usually not worth that extra cost of that production that you get. Sorry.
I know we haven't talked about wind yet, but do we have any research in the development and some close to Georgia that you guys are doing?
Yep, we're working on 2 wind demonstration projects. One will be up the coast of Georgia, and then there will be another one that we're hoping to put up in the mountainous area of Georgia. And those are both still kind of, they're not finalized yet, so we're still kind of working through those.
To give some perspective on how big these are, what's the total generating? What's the?
I've got some
Oh,
pictures.
you've got that?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
so
Yep, and I've got some size comparisons.
perfect.
Any other? And since we've kind of grown solar responsibly over time, and we've kind of sat back and watched those others, like Arizona and California, watched them, what they're doing, we've been able to win several awards, and I'm actually very proud of them from top industry associations over the last few years. So this is a pie chart shows our current generation mix as of the end of last year. So renewables is that purple, really tiny sliver right there. And so that's just basically, we haven't, a lot of our initiatives aren't online yet. They're not actually generating that electricity yet. So that'll kind of impact us in the future. Another thing to kind of point out here is, we have a decent amount of coal and a decent amount of natural gas, and nuclear is at 9%. So looking forward, this is as of 2020. So we have 2 additional units at Vogel, which is our nuclear plant, that will come online at this point. So our nuclear will increase. We're also looking to decrease coal and increase natural gas. And renewable shows up with a number this time. So we're excited to have that happen and kind of work to increase that renewable generation in the mix. Okay, pictures. So this is a rooftop at a business. These are the 2 from our advanced solar initiative. So this right here is 1 megawatt, and 1 megawatt in size is about 10 football fields, to kind of give you a perspective. So I mean, it's a large field, yeah. And I know this picture doesn't really do it justice, but it's a huge field full of solar panels.
That's a truck, right? It's the type, it's at the top of the
Yep,
truck.
that's a truck right there.
That's
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And here are some pictures of some buildings that most of their energy comes from renewables. So you have IKEA, downtown, Marta.
One of the things that I've heard before that there's an issue with installed solar has to do with just keeping panels clean. Is that something that's an issue for Georgia Power?
Not for Georgia as much as it is for the Southwest.
Okay, because the
It's so
dust, yeah.
dry and dust, yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Another thing that's really interesting that we've seen is solar actually produces better in the winter. Just keeping solar panels cold, the high heat really impacts that.
Efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. The efficiency of the panels. So, like a hot summer Georgia day is really not going to be as efficient as it would in like January or February when the panels themselves are cold. This is a great picture. This is from the top of the turbine at the wind farm I mentioned earlier, the south of Oklahoma. This wind farm is going to supply Georgia Power with 250 megawatts of wind power starting in January 2016 for the next 20 years. So we signed what we call power purchase agreement with them, and it's a long-term contract. So we can get a fixed price and keep it cheap for customers. Can't, not throw up our website link out there. We have a lot of great tools we're working on, a lot of calculators out there. If you want to check it out, learn some more information, I'd say it's a great resource for anybody. Overall, our commitments are really kind of long-term. We know that distributed generation will just increase over time, renewable energy will continue to add to our grid, and we're excited and we plan to embrace that over time. For the last 100 years, utilities have really kind of thought about providing electricity in one rate, just kind of as a central unit and dispersing it out to customers. But now we have distributed generation, the customers are producing energy at their own homes and plan to send it back to the grid. So we're excited to embrace that as we move forward in our plans. Okay, switching tracks a little bit. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about my background and how everything has kind of worked out, played together over time. So as you know, I graduated from UGA, certificates in atmospheric science, UIS. From there, I started working at GoodSense. GoodSense has a research and data analysis group. They work with a lot of utilities. They analyze different energy efficiency programs. They also look at how weather impacts those different programs over time. A lot of the work there was truly analytical. That kind of set up my career in that job. I learned SAS, which is a statistical programming language, and that has really been great to know that language going forward. I also started working on my MBA, and also GoodSense. From there, I started my job in the Southern Company system. Went to work in work research, and that is kind of where we tried to figure out what the cost each customer puts on the grid, essentially, being a customer. From there, I moved on to energy efficiency, and then into my current role in development. Over time, I've really tried to pick up industry certifications that I think were valuable. A recognized association in the utility world is AE, which is Association of Energy Engineers. So one of their toply recognized certifications is the Certified Energy Manager. So I earned that while working in energy efficiency. I've also tried to participate in clubs throughout my career. I think that that's really important. It shows leadership, as you guys are doing here and now. There's actually corporate chapters, corporate UGA alumni chapters. We actually have one in our company, and that's been a great way to earn some leadership experience. A lot of companies also have employee resource groups, and those are kind of groups that help employees learn more, and usually these volunteers that are working as a company help other employees in their career.
I want to brag on your behalf. If memory serves, Audrey not only did a geography degree and an atmospheric science certificate and a GIS certificate, but you also did it before you did a job.
Yeah, I did.
That's hard to do. That's great.
Yeah, I will say, I'm one of those OC organized people, and that was probably played into that. As you know, certain costs are only operated every year. I don't know if that's changed much or. Okay. So, when I came in, I wanted to kind of plan that out, so I tried to write down all the classes I would take and figure out where they would all fit, what the prerequisites were, and all that. That's kind of how I did it, really. So some of the skills that I think you guys can leverage in your careers going forward, if you want to take a more non-traditional route, kind of utility or energy industry, all the skills you're learning in your classes now kind of teach you that analytical problem-solving skills. You're obviously picking up project management by having more than one class, working in projects, variety types. Having to present information, you have to do presentations and do papers, things like that. Teamwork. If there's a team, I would immediately take the lead and try to keep the team organized and take initiative. If you can use that example as you're interviewing for jobs later on and say, I really took the initiative to lead this team, both shows initiative and leadership skills. Attention to detail has been kind of my branding lately, it seems like, at my current job. People will send me things to review because they know I'll be able to notice the smallest thing and correct any errors. And I think that's really kind of not really been a focus for students saying these things. And I think it's really important. You'll instantly earn respect from people by being able to review and immediately tell them, you need to do the X, Y, Z or fix X, Y, Z. And it really means a lot to have respect from your peers. And lastly, I think it's really important to have open and honest communication and feedback from your peers or your bosses. You need to be able to accept that feedback in a positive way. I've seen a few people that have been not open to receiving feedback, and I really just think it's weird. So that would be a big recommendation, is to just take it open.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
About teamwork.
Yeah.
Academics are always told by the business world that we need to promote teamwork because that's what the business world is all about. And so then what we do is we have group assignments and group exercises which students uniformly hate.
Yeah.
Is there a better way for us to promote teamwork that would translate into what the business world wants?
I honestly can't think of a better way. And I'll say that every job I've had, I've worked in a team, even if it was just me and I reported to my boss, there was a team as a department or however it may be formed. And working in teams as you currently are in classes, I mean, you have to deal with different personalities, people you may not care for. I mean, it's truly representative of the real world. So continue.
Does the business world have the same problem that the academic world has, namely that one person, right? We can all say this together,
Everybody
can't we?
cares as much
Right,
about
yeah, one person does all the work and there's some slacker that either gets credit for it, for not doing work, or drags the whole group down.
Sure, that happens everywhere,
Okay.
honestly. Yeah, there's really no getting away from that. I would just say you really have to be confident and promote yourself. And that's why I'm saying take the lead. When you're in a group environment, just take the lead. I mean, that just says a lot about who you are. You can learn those skills, and then you can brag on yourself later when you interview. And that's what it's all about, honestly. Interviewing is a job, right? But no, that's a good point. I mean, as much as I hate it, it's true. There are people that may not work as hard as you, and then they get all the credit.
Is there some point at which the business world recognizes this? That, in other words, is there punishment at some point for being the parasite?
That's a great question. I mean, I think eventually it will come out. I've seen a few people where there's only so much writing on someone else's work that you can do. Eventually, it will be recognized that you're not truly doing the work. Yeah.
I just struggle with that because I'm trying to promote it in my classes and everybody knows that they hate that. So now we've heard it from Audrey, okay?
Audrey's perspective.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, for what it's worth. 2 cents. Yeah. Great point, though. So a few slides on just some general job tips, things I've learned over the past 8 years or so. So how many of you will hopefully interview for either a job or an internship soon? You have one today? Awesome. Okay, so most of you? Okay. So I guess beforehand, I think it's really important to network. Networking. That's how I got the job in a good sense. Just by knowing someone that had graduated from the program, contacted and made a connection. So I think that's really important. I know you've heard this all before, but when you send in your resume for a job, make sure you tailor it to match that job posting and really set you apart from other applicants. Write those keywords in your resume. They'll look for that. As much as you don't think they will, they will.
Okay, a lot of places now have these automated systems for scanning through resumes. Does Georgia Power use anything like that?
Yeah, we have a pretty formal application process. So most of our application is if you answer the questions completely. So you will submit your resume, and then there'll be job-specific questions, and that they again, you need tie back to the job posting, of course. And if you don't fill it out, say you say no on one of them, it'll automatically throw you out. If the manager knows you're applying and they know that you will get thrown out, they can go in and pull that name and resume out, but there is some automation to the process. Yeah. So that is why networking is crucial. Yeah. Because then if they know that you're pretty in for that job, they can pull your resume out, whatever the case may be, they can kind of work through that. So interviewing tips. When you're interviewing, Georgia Power Solar Company, we have a very formal interview process. It's typically a panel setting. There's 5 or 6 people that will be interviewing you, and they go around the table. It's very formal. When they ask you a question, they always tell you to define the word, talk about the example, and then tie it back to the job. So say they asked you, tell me about a time where you showed initiative. So you define what initiative means to you, give an example, and then try to explain how you would use your initiative skills, or whatever it may be, in that role if you were a successful candidate. Always ask a well-informed question at the end. This shows that you've done your research, that your interviewer will respect it. It's really important. I know some of these are repetitive and probably put these on more, but these are crucial in our industry. And this is small, but if you forget it, it really looks bad. Always write a thank you note. And write thank you notes to people that write letters of recommendation. Another tip for when you're interviewing, use the STAR technique. So it's basically explain the situation or task, talk through the action, and then explain those results that you achieved. And then that will set you up for a great interview. I mean, that's pretty much what they teach is interview top MBA. So I think those are great skills. Okay, once you get the job, how do you have great career success? There's this PI model that we talk about a lot in our company. It stands for performance, image, and exposure. Anyone know that 60% or 1%? Any other ideas? Okay, it's actually exposure. I know, that's what you would think.
That's my problem.
No, yeah. When I first heard this, I was like, what? But the 10% is your performance, 30% is your image, and 60% is exposure. And the reason they say this is, again, kind of going back to networking. But you have to have those first 2 pieces. You have to be a top performer. You have to be professional. You have to act professionally. So going back to that image. And then once you achieve those 2 pieces, then you go out and network, do those what we call get-to-knows, and kind of broaden your overall network. So you can broaden your career. That makes sense.
I think I got an answer about the parasites. Right?
Yeah.
A well-exposed parasite.
Yeah. But if they're a poor performer, then that exposure would probably be amazing. So here's my contact information. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And then here is our recruiter for UGA. I'd recommend if you're interested in the energy or utility world, contact him with any questions. Internships and co-ops are paid positions, which I know is unusual for meteorology, that type of world. We have a whole environmental affairs department, so that's kind of environmental science. It's a lot more broad than meteorology, but you might be looking for someone looking for non-traditional applications.
When you got your MBA, did you do that on your own, or did the company help pay for you to do that?
So I started at Good Sense, and they did help pay for it, and then Georgia Power also had the tuition reimbursement program and switched over. So yeah, that's a great point. Before you decide if you're going to immediately go into career world or graduate with your bachelor's and then immediately start on your master's, maybe look at some of the companies you're interested in see if they offer tuition reimbursement. Maybe you could work part-time, or sorry, work full-time, work on your MBA or master's, part-time basis, depending on the program.
So when I worked in the weather service, they paid for a couple of classes for me. One of them was a civil engineering class, which gives me 90% of my business as a certified consultant. So
Oh,
that
wow.
one class.
Wow,
So you just never know.
yeah.
In terms of the co-op and internship opportunities, for somebody that's in atmospheric sciences, how could they present themselves to be a good fit for this? Because I'm trying to get a sense of what the duties would be. How would our students match up their training to that?
It kind of depends on what area you're interested in. So if you would be interested in environmental affairs, for example, I'd definitely sell your experience here, your degree program, and then all those skills going back to that. You have project management skills, you have teamwork, leadership skills, and just kind of trying to tie that. That's really what it's about, is making sure you try to tie that to this.
Do they look for any particular scientific training, or any of these internships? Not really. It's more like.
It kind of depends. If you're looking specifically to be like an engineer in the field, then yeah, you can have engineering. But most of them in corporate, it seems to be pretty open. So yeah, I don't think there's any degree.
Did you always know you wanted to go this route, or what made you go this route? It's very interesting.
I guess it was just kind of luck, really. I did not know I was going to go that route. I did several internships when I was here, Fox, National Weather Service, just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. I actually started trying to find a job in January before I graduated in May, just to make sure I had a job lined up for graduation. And then the Good Sense opportunity was kind of landed in my lap, and just worked out perfectly. I found it interesting. I was able to kind of broaden my skill set, pick up more of that analytical, statistical knowledge.
How much GIS stuff do you use? Did you make those graphs for the maps?
Yeah. I wish I had. No, I don't. I really don't use the GIS that much. If you are interested in that environmental affairs department, they do use GIS. So I recommend if you're interested in going that route, maybe take a class or two to kind of at least get some exposure and be able to sell that skill. I did think about it though. There's a point where I thought about switching to GIS.
They won't ask, but I will. In ballpark figures of the pay, what do people at Southern Company pay that you would level
I'd say I know someone that's maybe 2 or 3 years out of college, is making about 50,000 or so. That's one thing I'd say about Southern Company as a whole. It's one of those very stable companies. It's not like you're going to get rich quick or anything. It's a place to go, be stable, have that work-life balance, and always feel like you're well paid. So analysts are anywhere from probably 40,000 to 80,000, 85,000 a year. So it just kind of depends on your experience, the skills you bring. But I mean, there's definitely the potential to move upward and grow within the company.
So what would be your next step then? If we're moving on?
Yeah, I've been trying to get into management. That's my next step.
So the MBA is to help with that.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but sometimes I feel like I just check the box. But I do think that it gives you a lot of great skills having an MBA, and you have that experience or education behind you. But it's one of those like, okay, I have a job posting, you read it, it's like, hey, bachelor preferred MBA or whatever they say. Okay, she's got her MBA, all right. go to the next step. That's just honest. But yeah, I'm hopeful to branch in the management and that's what it's doing.
So these are day-to-day responsibilities. Can you describe sort of what things you're working on a day-to-day basis in the past week or two?
Our group is pretty all over the place, it seems like. So our department overall kind of has an implementation side. So the implementation side is more the engineers, they go out and do witness testing, is what they call it, when they visit the site, make sure everything's right. And then our side, we're more of the analytical shop. So a lot of these programs, there's pricing that is associated with it, and so we'll try to determine the appropriate prices that we should pay the customer for buying the energy that they're generating, for example, for the Advanced Solar Initiative project. We also do a lot with working on our website, so the corporate communication side of things and other messaging, we have to newsletter, we try to send that out. Then we also have a lot of reporting and compliance that we have to work through, both internal and external. So all those awards that we've won was mainly because we're keeping up with our reporting also. We're saying, hey, this is our projects and this how many megawatts we're going to have come online. So we have to send off those appropriate forms to each of those industries. But it really just kind of depends on the day. There's a lot of also presentation speaking engagements that we come. A lot of people are just really interested in solar,
So are you speaking around the state?
it seemed like it. So next week I'm going to talk to a General Motors group of retirees. In a few weeks I'll talk to one of our internal departments. Next month there's a class that's interested in hearing from us here, which will be interesting. That's pretty much summed up for this month.
So speaking skills are important.
Yes, speaking skills are important, and not even just orally, but written. Writing skills are very important. Make sure you communicate clearly. We have a lot of kind of technical programs and things that may not be easy to understand for a variety of people who have a certain background. So being able to kind of convey that. Especially on that newsletter I mentioned, we don't want to bore people. This is sent out to our customers, so making it entertaining and lively.
Show our appreciation, we'd like to give you a little gift.
Oh,
And we figured it's only appropriate since you're a UGA grad yourself.
thanks.
So we got you a little
Appreciate it.
gift basket of UGAs.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
An announcement before people leave. Pam said that she's not as good on exposure. This is Pam's cheesecake. She made a birthday cheesecake, and it came out a twofer. So there's an entire cheesecake. There's about 15 slices, and you really want to try it.
It's amaretto, but
Amaretto fudge cheesecake. You got to try it.
I actually,
That's part of my
it's already cut, you just have to get it.
Oh,
No.
That's pretty good.
You shall not pass it.
It's called I get to go out of town. No, it's called one day vacation.
Yeah. Oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look up.
Yeah.
No one in here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge.
So I say.
Broad.
I figured you were
Exactly.
That's okay.
You people over
Actually,
I can't think.
Yeah. there? Okay, yeah,
I'll see if it's.
Way different.
right.
I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really comment on it. I think.
Remember these.
You know,
I drew it.
you know what's up, you know.
Don't want too many colors.
So how's that?